Igodaro seems to be coming to Kaizer Chiefs, isn't he? We're also going to talk about this guy, Maxine Zengeli, 25. Is he wanted by Chiefs? We will also talk about Aiden McCarthy's new contract. Tepang Moremi, is he coming to Chiefs? Is he going to Pirates? And is Kaizer Chiefs pulling one on Nabi? Well, we'll find out on today's show. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Bilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. On to our first story. Etiosa Ighodaro has spent the last 6 years being a Mamelodi Sundowns player, and in this recent year he was playing for AmaZulu FC. You already know that. He's still only 23, and now according to Unplayable, Ighodaro could be on his way to Kaizer Chiefs. This, I will tell you the truth. If you have not performed in a South African team in this league, I cannot give you an excuse and say, I'm expecting you to perform for Chiefs. You know, I understand if I had looked at Ighodaro stats and I'm like, 8 goals, nyana. But there's nothing. And I know sometimes when players play against Chiefs, they pick up their socks. I've not even seen him and thought, this guy is dangerous. It's never happened. Like, it's just never happened. Maybe it's just me. But I've never really seen Ighodaro and thought, wow. He's never captured. I can't even remember one single game where he was playing where I thought, and Chiefs has played against AmaZulu. And as it happens, I attended both games in a stadium when Chiefs were playing AmaZulu this season. Both times, I didn't see him. So I just don't know. Guys, in my comments, I'm not impressed and I'm not looking forward to this, especially because he is a foreigner. So it's going to take a foreign sport. But we've not really seen him do anything. So for me, I give me 0, man. Nah. Which then brings us to him, this guy. So this is Maxine Zengeli. I will say this. Nabi's trip to Tanzania just made it seem like he was there to sign everyone, because I don't know how many Simba players and younger players have been linked with the Chiefs since he went there. But this one, Maxine Zengeli, seems to be sort of kind of legitimate a bit because of the fact that he was signed by Nabi while Nabi was at Yanga. So maybe there's some legitimacy to this, but I'm not going to believe everything. However, so right now he signed him at Yanga. Yes, we know that. So that means he's someone that Nabi looked at and thought, hey, he could be a replacement for Fiston Maele, right? Or he could be an alternative to Fiston Maele while Nabi was at Yanga. And now Nabi is not getting Fiston Maele and is looking like, hey, there is this guy, Maxine Zengeli, who I signed at Yanga to be an understudy to Fiston Maele. So maybe perhaps Chiefs are looking to sign him, but it's clear he's a backup because he's not the main target, but he's if other targets the Chiefs are mainly focusing on fail. So yeah. Yena in general is not just a striker though. He's a left winger, he's a right winger, he can also play as an attacking midfielder. So he's kind of versatile in where he could be played, which also means he could play as a second striker, he could play as the only striker as well. Yeah, so Guayena, man, I have seen a few pictures of him getting some man of the match accolades and stuff like that. But we are at the deep end now where we're looking at players and we're moving from Fiston Maele, who are really performing in the Champions League and we're confident about them, to Abon Zengeli, who are backup of backups. Why not go to South America? Why not go to these Scandinavian countries? Go to Hungary, find a striker playing the second division. You'll get someone there. Go to Romania. Come on. Which brings us to the next player, and Aiden McCarthy. So this is good news and bad news. So Aiden McCarthy has been offered a 3-year contract. Now, listen to English. I did not say he has signed a 3-year contract. He has been offered a 3-year contract. I say that because there is a possibility of Aiden McCarthy to still go abroad, because We have seen him that he went abroad. I think was it Malta? I even forgot which country this was. Moldova, I think. Don't correct my comments. But he went abroad to do trials, which were not that successful. So he came back to South Africa. But there are still possibilities for him to go abroad. His father was a footballer. His father knows people, knows agents, and I'm sure that his agency is very brilliant because they will look at the situation at Kaizer Chiefs. Dotley will come back next season, right? If they don't release Ukwinika, they don't release Umekwel, they don't release Umsimango, and then you have a lot of senior defenders ahead of him. They just signed Umako, they have Ukrosku left back. So it's either will be fighting for his place, which in this world or universe where we played Kaizer Chiefs, we prefer experienced players, even though they don't give us anything. He might see himself being third choice when he could just be playing. We've seen this with Pirates. They start their good players, even though they are young. But Tina will go, yeah. And it's not Nabi's fault, if we're being honest, because as fans, I just saw there was a thing that McCarthy posted actually, which was horrible. Someone wrote and was cursing at him, saying he frustrates him so much, calling him names, which is not healthy. And that's what happens when Kaizer Chiefs loses. All these youngsters, even Mfundo Vilagazi, ended up deleting his social media because there were idiots harassing him online. Okay, the team lost. People made mistakes, but they did not tell you to gamble on them. And now these young players, he's only 21, but now he has to deal with idiots online who are insulting him when they are not happy with his performance. How is he gonna grow? All those idiots, by the way, who are harassing these players online are the same idiots who are not even good at their jobs. But they have the gall, they have the boldness to start going after people who are still learning their trade. That is why some Kaizer Chiefs young players never improve and will never improve, because people are just too harsh. He makes one mistake, you see these kids that you are playing. And worse, you can be critical but be constructive. But now if you go to insult a person and you even go to their inbox, what the hell? What is wrong with people? Honestly, just rant. It was not planned. It was not a planned rant. But we're gonna move on and talk about someone else, and there is going to be Tsepang Moremi. So Tsepang Moremi is also good news for Chiefs. Not in a manner that you think of. No. SABC Sports has reported that he is likely going to join Orlando Pirates. Mpilo, why is that good news for Chiefs? Well, he's replacing Monapule Saleng. So if Pirates are preparing replacements for Monapule Saleng, that means the news that Kaizer Chiefs have signed Monapule Saleng on a pre-contract, like they've given him a pre-contract with Monapule Saleng. That means he is coming to Chiefs, and now they're finding replacement for him. And if you ask me, choose between Tsepang Moremi and Monapule Saleng, I choose Saleng. Ask me to choose anyone, any right winger in the country right now, I choose him. Maybe only Ripero will be ahead of him, but Ripero possesses a different skill set. He can invert and play as a 10. So Ripero is on his own level. So, but after him, Monapule Saleng. No one else. So I'm happy, Mina. With Pirates, they can take Moremi, we will take Saleng way too, and we'll be fine. Which then brings us to this other thing. Not other thing. This topic. Kaizer Chiefs have not signed anyone officially that has been announced. So they've not announced anyone. Kaizer Chiefs have not announced that they've signed so and so. We're hearing rumors here and there. But they are also delaying releasing some players that were expected or that we have expected to have been released by now. This concerns me because it's telling me that Kaizer Chiefs are not at the level where they're supposed to be, or at a point where they're supposed to be in the signings of people. The only players that we've heard that they've signed are those that were free agents. The players, the strikers that we've needed, that we've known we needed. This pisses me off. We've known that we needed a striker, but when it comes to rumors, even rumors about strikers coming to Chiefs, we're hearing nothing except the players that we look at and we're like, why would Chiefs sign that player? He's not been good for a smaller team. Why is he going to be good for a bigger team like Kaizer Chiefs? So right now, Kaizer Chiefs holding on to every player that is supposed to be let go by now, They've only let go of the two obvious players that we knew were going to leave. Blom because he wasn't performing and it seems like his heart is no longer at Kaizer Chiefs or playing football at all. And Ranga, who fell out with the fans. But the rest of the other players who are supposed to have been released are still there, because Kaizer Chiefs have not found better options. So we might find ourselves with the same squad that we had last season, just players that Nabi clearly said he did not want. And now Nabi will have to deal with those players because the sporting director and everyone else who's involved have not signed. How long does it take to sign players? We are working extra hard day and night. When you can work extra hard day and night from last year, September, when you realize you didn't sign a striker, until June 13, you haven't signed a person. Wait, it's Friday the 13th today. Anyways, we're not there. The point is, why have Kaizer Chiefs not signed a person at this point? A proper striker, left back, right back, sizongama defender. Kodi Chiefs bigeja. Yes, we still had defensive problems, but you would think that the priority would be goals, because Nabi said, if I was scoring the chances, I would be in the top 3. So then why is the priority not the strikers? Why are we signing more defenders first and then we are going to, on the last minute, try to sign a striker? Guys, labanda weko serious now. Bang rentisa, I wasn't aiming to be angry. What do you think, Aiden McCarthy, Maxine Zeki, and Igodaro? Asugile manje. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, remember, Khosi, I'll pay you more. Yo!